When you walk into the office for the first time, inevitably, as a junior employee in particular, you'll feel a degree of imposter syndrome, which is relatively normal. Many new hires refuse to kind of face that and confront that reality head on. And in this video, I'll be explaining to you how to best manage that imposter syndrome. Right now, I'm standing outside of the Goldman Sachs office in London, where I worked for several years in the investment banking industry on the trading floor of this office. And I've dealt with imposter syndrome, worked with others who've dealt with imposter syndrome, and I'm here to help you best manage that type of scenario. Firstly, I would say it's quite normal for people to deal with imposter syndrome and feel like they're not fit for doing the actual job. They don't actually know what they're doing, even though they have some experience. And even if they don't have experience, they perhaps studied at university the relevant subject matter, but they just don't feel confident about dealing with those type of scenarios in the workplace because of a lack of confidence, which is the root of imposter syndrome. Many new hires might feel uncomfortable asking questions because they don't want to look like they don't know what they're doing. And it can create a lot of stress for people. They might not be able to make crucial connections with senior level staff due to these type of insecurities and lack of confidence that come with imposter syndrome. Now, it's quite normal, I would say, if you're starting a new role, particularly if you're more junior in your career, to have an element of like self-doubt. You're walking into the Goldman Sachs office, for example, behind me, and you might not be sure if you can deal with the different personalities, if you can do what you need to be doing. You might be dealing with some gaslighting or co-workers that are hyper competitive and might be trying to undermine you. So it can make things quite difficult. So you need to think about what type of work accomplishments you've previously had and your previous achievements, perhaps also in the academic sphere. Because many people, you're starting a new job, you're going to be learning a lot of new things, perhaps making some mistakes, doing things for the first time. You shouldn't worry about it too much. If you've got a new job, they've hired you for a reason. And bear in mind your previous accomplishments at different companies, your previous achievements, and just bear that in mind. So, if you can achieve maybe high grades at university, you've worked at other top companies or even decent companies and you've done a good job, that means you're kind of fit for the role. So don't get too self-conscious about your ability when you start a new job. So what are the consequences of not working on your imposter syndrome? I think it can impact your career long term. So I'd recommend you fix those ASAP, because you don't want to be in a situation where you're several months into a new role or maybe several years and you have not kind of dealt with the type of issues of second guessing yourself. So it's important to focus on the work you're doing. Think about any skill development areas, because if you have an imposter syndrome and it's a particular you can find the root cause of that, right? So maybe it's a lack of skills when it comes to managing other people, a lack of skills of teamwork or presentation skills, dealing with clients. There could be something that's a specific root of that imposter syndrome, and it's best to address that head on. And if you need to develop those skills, you can complete a qualification. If you want to develop your speaking skills and presentation skills, you can complete a Toastmasters course, which is all about public speaking. If you want to develop your technical skills, there are many qualifications out there and certifications in the fitness and in the finance industry where you can maybe study security, study derivatives, and develop those skills so you can build your confidence in those areas. Sometimes we're dealing with, like in a new job environment, there could be a lot going on. There could be a lot of different factors, a lot of different people you're around on a daily basis. And you're adapting to a new environment. So it's perfectly normal to have a lot of things going through your mind about how you're being perceived, about your work output. Maybe if you're in a probation period for a couple of months, if you're starting of your new role, you might be hyper aware of your work performance and things like that and your ability. And I would say just kind of take the edge off it by being slightly emotionally detached from that work environment of just, getting done what you need to get done to the best of your ability and then keeping it moving. Otherwise, you'll end up second guessing, overthinking things, and probably making a big deal of something that other people, like your manager, don't think are a big deal, but you're a bit too caught up in that. So I hope you bear that in mind. And if you are willing to, eager to work at Goldman Sachs or another bank like this, feel free to reach out to me. My contact details are in the description. There's some recommended videos on your screen right now and a free ebook in the description of the video.